And we are live for Windy City Hockey. Yes. Hey guys, how are everyone doing? It's another live stream in less than 2 days. I'm doing all right, Hawkthorne. How are you? And what's up, Hockey Highlights? Let me post the link to the stream on Discord and Twitter. So I will have those posted right now. Twitter's done. And now. Yeah, I'm doing all right, Hockey Highlight. How is the stream quality coming through? Just making sure so it looks good on my end. Yeah, I'm excited for preseason as well. I'm just ready for some Blackhawks hockey. Quality is good. Okay. Pretty soon here, I will probably be doing the paid for version of StreamYard, I think. Did you hear the about the one that came out today on the this hang on, let me just pull it up, like share screening, just verifying which one you're talking about. I think I know which one you're talking about. Oh, about the UC thing? Yeah, I saw they were dropped. That one was weird, and I've never heard of that lawsuit that came out, and it basically the report today from I believe it was Rick Westhead of TSN. Yeah, Rick Westhead of TSN reported here. I will share screen it. Yeah, so Rick Westhead today on TSN reported about this here lawsuit against the Hawks, and yeah, it was basically dropped from the plaintiff. It looks like from what I was reading earlier today. I read the entire thing, but it was basically showing how it was a dropped case. I'm gonna stop that. I'm liking how I can do share screen on StreamYard. I just know for sure, though, when it comes to games, I cannot share screen when I would do that. I can't for copyright purposes and audio purposes. I can't have the games being with their audio coming through. So when it comes to when I'm doing my play-by-play during games on YouTube, I won't be share screening the game at all. I'll have the score on top of the screen though, like how I do in my reviews. I have not seen any reports on the capacity for the UC. I would not be surprised if they go full capacity because I believe it was the WWE just 2 weeks ago had a um event in the United Center and it was packed. So I would not be surprised if the United Center will not go to full capacity. I believe it's going to, even though they need to put, in my opinion, United Center should put restrictions on it because they should put restrictions on if you're vaccinated, show proof of vaccination and going into the United Center, in my opinion. For the safety of the fans and the safety of the players. That's my opinion. I feel like they should do the proof of vaccination going into the events like that. It'll be smart. Uh, I'm going to actually have a video coming out on the season preview here in the next week, and I will go over my predictions for the lines, what I can see happening for the Chicago Blackhawks this coming season. That's going to probably be out late next week, early following week, probably. But yeah, it's good to see Jonathan Toews sounds like is ready to be back because Connor Murphy today for his interviews with the press after signing his 4-year extension with the Blackhawks yesterday talked about Jonathan Toews. I would not be surprised if we see a Dylan Strome trade. I could see it happening, but who knows? There's still a lot. The Hawks right now are currently. Let me go to cap friendly. And share screen that. Don't the Hawks live stream training camps? They do. I don't know if they're doing it this year though. So I'm going to cap friendly right here. And this is their current stance set on the cap. It's not good for themselves right now. Cap friendly basically has the Hawks at a cap of 84 million, but they have a projected of LTIR of $3 million going to the LTIR for Andrew Shaw. So they're currently way over the cap, but they need to wait until Andrew Shaw can be put on LTIR for the rest of the season. I would have thought Dahan would have been maybe moved, but I'm shocked that there hasn't been any takers like that. Strome probably has the most trade value out of anyone on the Hawks that's likely to be gone as a cap dump. So it would not surprise me if Dylan Strome is traded during training camp. Don't get me wrong. I like Dylan Strome. I may have been angry when we brought him in, when we traded for him. Granted, that was when I thought more of him as a bust, and I was a fan of Nick Schmaltz. But Stromer would have the value to move him. He's a centerman. He's on a fairly cheap contract, if I'm not mistaken. If I go back to Cap Friendly, Dylan Strome has 1 year left for $3 million. It's easy. If they move that contract right there, the Hawks basically get underneath the cap. They took on so much cap this off season, which I was shocked about. But the main one I like was us bringing in Marc-Andre Fleury. Yeah, Murphy's contract's great in my opinion. I agree. I would not be surprised if Gaudette's a big surprise for the team. I think Gaudette could be a good fourth liner. He plays the center spot. He also plays on the wings. So Gaudette could be a good utility player for the team. What's the penalty for going over the salary cap? Let me pull it up. Okay, this is the. I'm going to just post it in the chat. Yes, the NHL is a hard salary cap. It's not like the MLB because they don't have a salary cap, even though they do need one. It's not like the NBA who does luxury tax. The NHL basically has a hard salary cap. It's kind of in two posts just because I ran out of space for one post. I think Hagel is going to be awesome. I am expecting 35 to 45 points this season. For Hagel, I could see that. I really like Hagel. I think we could see a potential good. I really honestly think he will follow up his great rookie season with a Sellers sophomore season because in his last year he played 52 games, having 9 goals, 15 assists for 24 points. I think he could hit maybe 40 points in an 82 game season. I would put Hagel with Taze and Kubalik. That would be a good line. Oh, I agree. Honestly, if the Hawks didn't have to deal with a salary cap in the 2010s, they could have had more Stanley Cups, in my opinion. Because 2010, that team could have gone on to win multiple cups afterwards. They did, yes, but the entire core roster, I think, from the 2010 roster could have gone on to win a potential back-to-backer from 2010 to going into 2011. Hawks lost so many players after the 2010 Cup due to the salary cap, and they became the 8th seed, almost knocking out the Vancouver Canucks by coming back 3 games to none in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2011, but lost in Game 7. Hagel and Hinestroza were good. Hinestroza going to, I believe he signed with Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken. Good luck for him because Buffalo's a mess, but I'm always going to be a fan of Hinestroza. Oh, well, they basically were playing that in the Stanley Cup playoffs this past year. They were 18 million over the cap. If the salary cap exists in the playoffs, Tampa Bay would have been $18 million over the salary cap in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But there's no salary cap in the playoffs, and you can do that. Yeah, Buffalo's going to be a mess. They still haven't worked out a move to move out Jack Eichel, which is shocking. Just seems like he doesn't want to be there. What's up, Drive? How are you? No, Kane did not have any surgery. I feel like they overused him in the season. Like, by overusing him, he was pushing about 30 minutes a game, and I felt like Colleton may have overused him in every game. Now that we have an offense that has a lot more players on it that could actually be counted on, I don't think we can. I don't think we'll see Kane get burnt out like he did at the end of the year. And yeah, the management is front office is a joke. Yeah, Eichel did fire his agent and switch to the same agent Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Steph Jones has, Crosby has. Eichel switched to a good agent. DeBrincat really didn't production wise didn't drop in overtime. He had quite a bit of overtime winners this past season. Will we make the playoffs? I honestly think the Blackhawks do make the playoffs. I could spoil that part of my season preview just because I honestly do think this team makes the Stanley Cup playoffs with the good moves the Hawks made this season. They have a good goaltending tandem in Marc-Andre Fleury and Kevin Lankinen. They also have made a lot of moves that could help this team. I say I say Steph. Yeah, I say Steph. I'm I could see about 90 to 95 points this season for this team this year, which is a good chance of making the playoffs. Granted, we do have the toughest division, I would say, from number 1 to number 7 because I'm not counting Arizona because that team probably is going to be one of, if not the worst team in the NHL this year. I really hope it. I hope Alex DeBrincat puts up 50 because I'm not going to predict it this year. Last time I did that, he had a horrible season. When it came to goal scoring, he could not find the back of the net. Oh, if we go on a 2013 run like we did, oh, those will be fun videos. Those will be very fun videos to make for sure. That run's going to be near impossible to ever see again. What the Hawks did in 2013, I think, is probably a record that doesn't get broken. Just because the way the Hawks came out in the 2013 shortened season, they came out firing and went 21-0-4. 0-4. Or 0-3. Yeah, 2013 was one for the record books. That team was just outstanding to watch. Yeah. Oh, man, that 17 seconds is very fun to watch. Best season since 2017. Yeah, it will be because we haven't been that competitive since 2017, even though we don't talk about those playoffs. That was a curse. That was a horrible playoff performance. I honestly could see the Hawks contending for a good spot in the Central Division. If everything works out, of course. Yep, that was the last season with Panarin. Totally a joke on the players. What are you talking about, Hawkthorne? Yeah, Panarin wasn't much as a playoff performer on the Hawks. Granted, we only made the playoffs 2 seasons with him because he was only on the team for 2 years, and then we traded him. Who scores the most points for the Hawks this season? Most likely going to be not Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane. Kaner just puts up the assist and goals. I would say Kaner will probably end up with the most points as he has in the. I believe he's had the most points on the team since 2016. I believe since 2016 he's had the most points on the team since his MVP season. Probably number 2 will be Alex DeBrincat. I don't think Kane will go over 10 million again. I don't know what happens if Kaner does go over. I think we could see Kane start to consider going just a little bit down, maybe like 8.8, his number, basically. Like 8.8 for 88. But who knows? It's still Kane. He's still one of the best players to ever do it. I wouldn't have let go of Pew Suter also. I would have kept him around, but they let him go, which honestly kind of surprised me because Suter was a good rookie last year. With what happened with Tays missing an entire season, I don't know what Tays will do after his contract's up. I don't know if he considers just hanging up the skates. I like Jonathan. Tays has always been one of my favorite players to ever play, but um, it's interesting what happens when Tays' contract is up. Strom to Detroit for Suter. Yeah, I don't think Detroit's giving up on Suter because Suter's good. Zach Parise to the Islanders. Yeah, I saw the reports about that. It's not been official quite yet to the from the New York Islanders since they still have not sent in the paperwork to the NHL on the signing of Zach Parise. Yeah, uh, Suits is going to probably be the number 2 centerman because they do have Dylan Larkin. Larkin has gotten injured a couple of times the last couple seasons, so Suter could end up somehow in the first line spot, but Dylan Larkin's going to have the number 1 center spot locked up in Detroit. Yep, especially Kubalik. Granted, Kubalik, we traded for his rights to sign him, but Kubalik was one of those players that were in the European leagues, and we managed to get a steal out of him. He came in as came third in the Calder vote for Rookie of the Year in his rookie season. Um, I think those things are false. I think the reason why the people say that at the beginning, I thought kind of that same way, but I don't believe it's all true. I honestly think Tazen and Kane do listen to Jeremy Colleton. Otherwise, Colleton probably won't be on the team coaching behind the bench of the Chicago Blackhawks. Um, so I think those rumors are false. Am I a Colleton fan? I would say no. I'm not a big fan of Colleton. I will say my opinion about that. I'm not a fan of Colleton because the person he replaced. But Taze and Kane, I don't think um what people say about not respecting Colleton is true, and I feel like Taze and Kane have respect for Colleton, but uh they also have to show their leadership in the locker room as players, if you understand where I'm going from there. Oh, I miss Coach Q. Well, always miss Coach Q behind the bench of the Chicago Blackhawks. Fun fact, that's one of my most popular videos. The day they fired Coach Q because it was a full-blown rant. I my thing with Carlton, I feel like he doesn't. If he's talking with the media, he doesn't show his emotion. But when it seems like watching the games, when they do go in, kind of zoom into the bench, it doesn't look like Carlton is showing much emotion behind that bench, which is kind of shocking. But I'm just saying it doesn't look like it because they could be not showing when he has his full emotion behind the bench. Any more comments, guys? Again, if you're new to the channel, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will really appreciate it. I think he could have more points this season with the Oilers is because the players he has on his team, being McDavid and Draisaitl, he just feeds them the puck. They get a point anytime they're on the ice, basically. So point production probably goes up. Keith, at his stage in his career, he's not the number one defenseman we know him as has when in the past where he won the Norris Trophy twice, won the Conn Smythe Trophy with 3 Stanley Cups and 2 gold medals to count. Keith isn't the same player, yes, but he's still a good utility defenseman on any team. Just because if you have young players on your blue line, they can learn from him. He's one of the greatest players to ever play in the NHL history. Yeah, I agree. It's hard to read Colleton. He's a good developmental coach, in my opinion. Colleton is a good developmental coach. We've seen it from the young players who have come up under Colleton. I honestly think there will be a statue for Duncan Keith. Seabrook, on the other hand, might be a little bit interesting. I would like to see them honor Seabrook with a statue, but probably won't happen. But Duncan Keith deserves a statue outside of the United Center, like Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane. They all deserve a statue at the United Center when their careers are all said and done and their numbers immediately sent to the rafters of the United Center. I'm still waiting for the number 81 to go up into the rafters. With like all player like then with the players that actually won all three of the Stanley Cups. Like Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Marian Hossa, Patrick Sharp, Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook, and Nicholas Jarmerson. Toews, Kane, Hossa, Sharp, Toews, Kane. Those days were fun, weren't they? As you can see, I have a Stanley Cup banner in the background for this background. It's not as you know, this isn't my main set. This is my second set. Those days were great. Marian Hossa managed to win 3 Stanley Cups with my favorite team, and he is my favorite all-time NHL player. It's easy to say why I am a big Marian Hossa fan. I've liked the style of play he did. He's now a Hall of Famer. He was just a great player, and it seemed like he was one of the most respectable players in the NHL. Yep, the first preseason game is against Detroit. I'm going to probably be going to one preseason game this year. It's still up in air quite right now, but there's a potential of me going to a preseason game this season. Not going to say which one. Quite yet. For which one Hawkthorne? The Hawks versus Detroit? I don't know quite yet, but there's a game I'm potentially going to, and I am still seeing about tickets. Because I would have to kind of travel to go to the game. Why are you mad about the divisions? Is it the fact that we still don't have Detroit in our division when they should be? Because the Chicago Detroit sports rivalry is historic. I just hate the idea of Arizona coming to our division, to be quite honest. right now. Granted, Arizona might not be in Arizona after this season. It's because the NHL, it's because Detroit wanted to be a Eastern Conference team because they play in an Eastern time zone. But they're so much closer to Chicago. The Hawks have to travel the most out of every team, I feel like, except for Winnipeg. They might actually have to travel probably have to travel the most. But it's just a joke, in my opinion. But Arizona coming to our division is stupid. But I honestly don't know if they are if the I honestly think that NHL basically tells them it's you guys are going to have to pack up and just leave Arizona because they don't have a stadium after this year. I'm not going into like trophy predictions quite yet. Hockey highlights that will come later. Yes, I will get special. I do get special features if I buy a StreamYard. I have not bought it yet, but I'm considering buying it, getting the purchase version soon. Like I can replace the StreamYard logo right here with I could put my logo on it. And during the season, like when I do game videos, game streams, I can have a score graphic on top. Since this is the second time I'm using StreamYard to stream on, I'm not going to purchase StreamYard quite yet because the season isn't even happening quite yet, and for another month, basically. For basically 2 weeks, we don't see hockey. We see actual games that mean stuff after 2 weeks from now. So it's not worth buying StreamYard quite yet. It's a monthly or annual thing. You could purchase an annual, you could purchase a monthly package, I think. I haven't really looked into it, Hawkthorne. I just think it works better. In my opinion, it's easier to go live on StreamYard through StreamYard to go on to my for my YouTube channels. It's easier. I don't know why. YouTube is actually a pain to go live on at points, and StreamYard actually made it pretty easy to go live on my YouTube channel. Here's a question. How do you like how I have my those jerseys hanging in the background? Yeah, Lucas Reichel looks like he could potentially crack the roster this year. I am going to switch the jerseys out every now and then, except for like the Tony O jersey and probably the Pat Foley jersey. They stay up all season basically, unless if I want to wear the um Pat Foley jersey, I would wear it. If I wanted to wear the Tony Esposito jersey, I would wear it, and I just put two different jerseys up there. They're actually hanging from the hockey stick up there. No. Gary Bettman's not the worst commissioner in sports. Honestly, he's one of the better commissioners in sports, in my opinion. The worst commissioner in professional sports is Rob Manfred of the MLB. That guy's an idiot. What he does with the MLB, thinking to speed up games by putting in a runner in extra innings, and now double headers. You have a seventh inning game, and then the second game is 9 innings. I think Rob Manfred's a complete fool because how he runs the MLB, the way he handled the Houston Astros and their cheating scandal to win a World Series was a complete disaster and a complete BS way of running a freaking league. That guy's an idiot. Bettman's actually very good at his job. He eggs on the fans to basically boo him. And I respect it. I respect it. Because I know when I went to the draft in 2017, he knew Chicago fans would boo him, including myself. But I booed him just because the pure factor to boo Gary Bettman's a thing. That's just he enjoys it. He knows it's a he basically eggs it on at this point. I respect Bettman. Yes, Bettman is more a meme than terrible. He's actually really good at his job. Rob Manfred's an idiot. Uh Roger Goodell, he's just, I don't know, he just doesn't know what he's doing half the time for the NFL. Bettman, he's actually good. And the guy who runs I can't remember the NBA's commissioner's name. I think he's actually pretty good at the NBA, how he runs the NBA. But Bettman is a good commissioner, unlike Rob Manfred. Manfred's a complete fool. And I don't know how he still has a job after the way he ran the investigation for the Houston Astros, aka Houston Trastros, and their cheating scandal. NBA, I knew they had a good commissioner. I'm just blanking on his name, to be quite honest. Let me take a look. I believe it's Adam Silver. Yeah, yeah. I know Adam Silver is pretty respected in the NBA as their commissioner. Through the players, I believe they actually really respect him too. Yeah, it's not Bill Gates, Hawthorne. Bill Gates is the maker of Microsoft and one of the richest people alive. I agree. I do agree on that part that NHL do need to do better job at publicizing their star players. If they were able to, per se, publicize more on a Connor McDavid, a Austin Matthews, which they're actually already doing with Matthews because he's now on his second cover of the NHL games, which, in my opinion, is kind of a joke. He was on it 2 years ago. But the NHL, I feel like, is starting to get to that point where they're going to start showing off the stars of the game more. Madden 22 is a joke. Okay. I don't play Madden, so I used to, but I just don't really. I do play the NHL games. I just don't do them on my YouTube channel just because frankly I'm not a big fan of like video game and playing video games on the YouTube channel. I think it doesn't work for my channel. Madden is the worst game alive. I mean, NHL 15 was pretty bad. That was one of the worst games I've ever played. Guys, we're getting close to that 1 hour mark on the stream. So when we so in like 8 minutes, I'm going to be ending the stream off. So get your final comments going, guys. Who was on the cover of NHL 15? That was Marc Bergeron. No. Why did I say Marc Bergevin? It was um it was Bergeron from Boston. Sorry. Had really bad hat hair today. Yeah, it was Bergeron. I would say I know what NHL video game is my favorite all time. That actually is NHL 04, which was actually my first ever NHL game I ever played, and frankly, it was the best one made. A lot of people say NHL 14 was. It was not my favorite, but it was up there as one of the tops. But NHL 04 was my favorite all-time NHL game. But and it was my first one, so I have sentimental value with that game. Who knows? EA doesn't listen to the people who actually purchased the flipping game. So I doubt the game will be any good. Hey, what's up, Zane? How are you doing? Sorry, I'm just Zane. I'm just letting you know we have 5 more minutes left on the stream. Yeah, $60 for a video game when they don't do anything by listening to the fans. It's a joke. And some people pay over $100 for the game because they want the stuff for hot. That's don't get me started in that. EA is a joke. They don't listen to the people who actually play the game for fun. They listen to the people on Twitter, on YouTube, who just do hut videos. That's why you won't ever see me do hut. I hate hut in the NHL. It's NHL video games. They're terrible. Yeah, it's overpriced for something people want to enjoy, but the manufacturer doesn't give what people want. Okay, here. So, this is a thing of people wanting stuff fixed. The NHL's were Reebok. This is a Reebok Blackhawk jersey, yes. I still want this collar back. I like the Reebok collars versus what Adidas gave us in their first year or 2 years in the NHL. What does this look like to you? If you stretch it out, what does that kind of look like? A toilet seat. Adidas gave us a toilet seat from replacing something that looked good, the V-neck collar from a Reebok jersey. These actually look good, doesn't look like a toilet seat. Adidas gave us this. So, Blackhawk fans were basically complaining for the 2 years that toilet seat collar was a thing. And so, because Adidas doesn't want to change their template of the jersey, they didn't give us the V-neck collar from Reebok back, which is another thing. Bring it back. You owned Reebok, Adidas. They gave us this collar, a half collar of the toilet seat. It looks better, yes, than that, but that collar is superior. So the Blackhawks listened. They listened to us. Can you fix the collar? They didn't fix it the way we probably wanted it to be by giving us a V-neck collar that it's on this Reebok here. They gave us something as a slight fix because Adidas template sucks. In my opinion, if you ask me what I would have done with the crappy toilet seat collar just for a fix, just make this part white. Fill it in as white, it would have looked more complete. But it looks like a toilet seat on this collar. That's why I don't wear the toilet seat collars all that much. But I prefer this collar over this, but I prefer this collar out of any collar in NHL history. What's up, Timo Time? How are you doing? Now I just got into a rant about the jerseys. Let me put these things back up. But can you tell the NHL needs, like, manufacturers should listen to the consumers. The Blackhawks listened to the fans to fix the collar. They kind of did because the Adidas template sucks. They couldn't give a good collar to the jersey, but it's just weird how EA doesn't listen to the consumers. Yes, Reebok collars are definitely better than Adidas, Timo. I love the Reeboks. They fit better. They don't look like toilet seats or polos or um, that on a shirt. The only collars from Adidas I would say I like are the Winter Classic collars. These are probably the best collars Adidas has, with the rib neck on it and just how it looks. It looks a lot better than the toilet seat collars that you get from um Adidas. So like the Winter Classic collars, those are fine, but most of the collars from Adidas suck. Yeah, I know. I don't know why the Sharks put on the toilet seat collar on their jersey. Yeah, EA's garbage. NHL 2K. I was never a fan of the 2K games, quite honestly. Probably DeBrinket. Yeah, probably DeBrinket could be a player to put on the cover just because he's a good goal scorer. He plays what players like in the game. DeBrinket could be an option, but they won't ever put Cat on it. Fleury could be on a cover, but let's be honest. This could be Fleury's final season in the NHL. Evander Kane in a casino. Yes. Oh my god, that guy's an idiot. That guy's a mess. Quite on to be quite honest, he's a mess. Guys, I think I'm going to cut out the stream here in the next minute. We've been live for an hour and 4 minutes, so make sure to get your final comments in for this final minute. Tom, I don't want to show hockey highlights. That honestly, no. That's not right. What you said, hockey highlights. Yes, DeBrinket's very underrated. Can you please delete what you said, hockey highlights? That's just not right what you said. I don't like when people joke around of people beating kids. That's people who do that are assholes. Yeah, I cussed right there. That's just fucking bullshit. Did I lose service? Oh, take care, Zane. yeah, people who joke around like that, that type of stuff kind of is not right. The casino one, that was pretty funny. I would say that, but something like that, it's not right to say. So, guys, I'm going to end the stream off. I'm glad you guys came by the stream. It was a fun stream tonight. Had me rant a little bit, and but it was just for the most part, a good stream. So, thank you for coming to the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I don't know what just happened there, so let me fix that outro. So thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, let's go Hawks.